map veto ready for you. And it's going to be ENCE starting on defense. It's going to be, you can't spell defense without ENCE.
It's going to be Oregon. We'll play on Oregon.
Penta's going to be on attack.
Yep.
Oregon should be fun, because I wonder how these two teams are going to play. ENCE has shown this brand new, really aggressive style. Shate has peaked absolutely everything. Comfy seems to peak just about everything.
Yep.
And Sleben peaks pretty close to just about everything.
Halfway to everything.
Halfway to everything.
Yeah, and then the rest, support.
But Oregon is not, well, you can do a lot of crazy stuff on Oregon.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be too much of a surprise to see some wild stuff as we bring up the community vote for you. And Penta, obviously, the favorite heading on in. Penta will be competing in the Invitational in just a couple weeks. ENCE will not be. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Shed a tear for them.
Well, no, I mean, do, though, because they are one of the more veteran teams in Pro League in general, not just Europe. We're going to go into the map. Here we go, Oregon. And yeah, I agree with your hypothesis that we will likely see some aggressive play here from the defenders on this map, especially from ENCE. As I think Oregon really incentivizes that kind of play from the defense, because
you get real wild on Oregon.
Yeah, because there's so little that you can do as a defensive team. You're really locked into your options. So to try and break free of those shackles, you got to kind of just do crazy stuff. Montaigne gonna get banned. Yay, good to see him gone. Ying also gonna get banned. Yay as well. And we'll start with the defensive bans here.
Mira and Echo are my guesses. Well, there goes Mira. So not
possibly
much of a surprise.
Maestro.
I think it's going to be Echo. Michael?
Echo or Maestro?
I say Echo.
I mean, I'm with you on Echo. I could also be Maestro. I don't care. They're interchangeable, but it's going to be Smoke.
What?
So hard left turn there.
All right.
I mean, it's not a terrible thing. The Smoke ban makes a lot of sense. In the back of my mind, I was thinking maybe Smoke, but no.
It's going to be hungry on another roll then.
Yeah. I mean, you were definitely thinking Echo or Maestro.
Well, I mean, it's so common to see them. Smoke bans happen on Oregon from time to time. Mockit banned it against FaZe at the Rio Finals. Pushed Moringa onto Jaeger. I'm interested to see where Hungry's going to go. Keep in mind, Mute can run that exact same loadout, though.
Yeah, that's definitely relevant when it comes to the guns. I mean, one of the big things that Smoke brings is the shotgun and his ability to play proximity on anything. So, like, bottom of laundry stairs, for example. His shotgun SMG combo is the perfect one for that.
Yeah. I am going to be fascinated to see the way they play out, the way they play this. It was just yesterday that we were seeing the clubhouse matchup, right, with ENCE, if I recall correctly, against Mockit, and Mockit just absolutely manhandled them, you know, so to speak. ENCE on defense, on clubhouse, only won one time, and that was it. That's rough. Wilkie was often finding himself in unwinnable situations because ENCE was basically feeding early in the round towards, you know, Mockit's side of things.
You know, it's weird because, I mean, Mockit overall hasn't been having the best season.
They've been having a pretty terrible season.
That's actually their first win, and that was
their first point.
Yeah, they got their first points there in that match against ENCE. So
10 seconds to go.
I mean, they had a 0-7. Were they the first ones? No. We had 2 0-7s on the same day. No. It was Chaos versus Mockit. I'm reading my notes wrong. Yeah, 7-0 for Chaos. So yeah, Mockit haven't been having a really good season so far. And yeah, beating ENCE was kind of surprising, I think, for a lot of people. I'm sure the community vote probably reflected that going into the match, but hey, it happened. And now, again, I think what I said in the pre-match, ENCE, impossible to predict. We really don't know what to expect from them at this point.
I think both of these teams are impossible to predict. Blast has definitely been warming up on that roster. Sir Boss is capable of carrying the roster as well, and oh no! Sleben could have possibly been, you know, very early on, as it looked like he was, I don't know if he was trying to reinforce or what, but he's playing up by Attic, and that'll be pressure from Penta over on the Master side of things. Catching out Wilkie early on as both Sir Boss and Blast, the joint Zofia-Ash combo, picking up their 2 sets of frags, but Shate and Comfy immediately respond, and ENCE will take 2 kills of their own.
So there's that aggression that you were talking about from ENCE, and it's somewhat paying off as they manage to equal things out. Playing it Harry Potter here is Boonsy, and he's got his shotgun primed and ready to blast.
To blast? As Blaz is on the team. Very nice here. He's going to be a man on a mission, though. as you know that they will begin to circle in on him. He's going to get flashed, but Shate as well as Gomfi will be very important to keep him alive. Shate will start it off with the kill of his own. Hungry is the only one that is even remotely close to this position. As we saw, enemy is downstairs inside of bunker, or blue, as they get called. Hungry doesn't have an ACOG available, but he'll be able to outduel the Alda, which is a bit of a rarity. Gomfi will be there to immediately refrag and leave just enemy downstairs. Through the soft wall, he's trying to find Bouncy and Gomfi. He twists in the wind. Bouncy will shut him down with a quick shotgun blast. And ENCE, extraordinarily aggressive. They'll take laundry supply room in the very first round.
The aggression was really what salvaged that, though, for ENCE, because PENTA were putting themselves in a position of control. Pretty strong early on with those frags. So props to ENCE for making that recovery happen. It was all over the place from PENTA as well. Their attack strategy was a little bit gargled. I think they really didn't know what they were getting themselves into. They were trying to attack from Master as well as Attic as 10 tower, but they ended up going for a construction take. The tower into meeting hall take and the Attic makes sense, but by Master, I mean, isolate the roamers, sure, but it ended up costing them a player, so I don't know. You got to have somebody in a position to refrag if you're going to be going for a roam hunt like that. Putting someone off by themselves is just asking for it to be punished, and it was. Well, ENCE are nothing if not unpredictable. We will be going to kitchen for our second site.
Bomb located by attackers.
I got to imagine that we're going to see the same thing from PENTA on defense. This meta, and it's something that, this is something that a lot of players have talked about very openly, but this meta right now very much enables teams to play a brainless style of play.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Remove your brain from your skull and just run around and peek everything. Kill everything. Tactics a lot of times for these teams kind of go out the window, and that's why you see the defenders almost playing like attackers.
I mean,
look at this. It's round 2 and they're in the kitchen.
yeah. Yep.
Like, what is this? What are we witnessing here? The teams hate this site.
You know, I'm really happy that Lion got quarantined. Super happy about that. But it did really do some serious damage to the meta overall, and it wasn't the only thing, of course, but yeah, I mean, the game was balanced in a certain way, and the equilibrium was upset.
I think a big part is that the defenders just have access to so much information that that's what allows them to get as aggressive as they get.
That's
right?
what I'm saying, though, is that was present because it was to counterbalance the presence the attack had, and now that that presence has been kind of, well, shushed a little bit. Not fully. I mean, we haven't seen it slip completely into defender-sided meta just yet. I think we'll get there, I'm sure, but not quite.
My speculation is that there will almost certainly be inevitable changes to both Echo and Maestro, and then once that happens, there will be more flexibility on bans, and then we'll see things kind of go back to normal.
Probably
also,
right.
keep in mind that after the invitation of both Kaid and Nomad will be allowed available.
It's
in
important,
Pro League, and that's going to change things a lot as well.
Yeah, it's important to remember when I'm talking about Lion, I'm mostly just talking about the freeing up of the ban.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I'm talking about.
So, look at round number 2. We are halfway through. It is a kitchen defense, believe it or not, and PENTA trying to take control of this small tower, just waiting very patiently. They have taken out one of the walls that lead in towards ENCE's defense in said small tower, and it's going to be enemy on his belly trying to crawl on in. There's an evil eye that will stare over that gaping hole. Wait, and there's actually a second just besides the sofa that Shate will control. A smoke will go off and cut off the site from the Capitao, and a second one will go in as an asphyxiating bolt, try to keep Bonesy from being able to push on up. The Doc will do some breakdancing behind the table. He is completely protected and very, very safe, but he's susceptible from a pinch to the side should Sir Boss decide to push in that angle. But that was the smoke and the asphyxiating bolt. Not really working all that well. There we go, the exact same play from Hungry, but Bonesy will get himself back to life. Bloss taking out Sleben. Wilkie trades off enemy. Gomfi very low on HP. Bloss picks up his second, and now the Sophia has complete control of the site. A third for Bloss, but he'll get cut down from Shate, chewed through the wall, and now you'll see a completely aggressive play from Wilkie. Be stifled as Revan is there to take him out. Shate moving on up, and he doesn't get to see Sir Boss for more than half a second. And the Ash just rip right on in and take out Shate. Great tracking there, and PENTA will respond and equalize at 1 apiece. Michael, why kitchen?
I cannot answer that question, Parker. I really have no idea why ENCE decided to go to Kitchen on their second site. I'm guessing they were trying to upset Penta, or, sorry, catch them off guard, or something along those lines. Did not work out. You said half a second to describe something. I don't remember what it was, but it's the perfect description for how long it took Penta to get control of a platform to attack the site that is Junk Tower. I mean, quick in. And then they had plenty of time to linger. They just waited in Jug Tower, looking for the opportunity. As soon as it was there, they seized it. End of the story. You know what's really interesting to me is we had the Echo unbanned, and if we're talking about sites that would do well with Echo, that'd be one of them. There was the Maestro, but hey, why not both? Seriously, why not both? I mean, the smoke's not there either. Why? Because you banned them. So, I think a little bit of utility being missed out there from ENCE. The smoke grenades from Penta weren't unanswered because the gas canisters weren't available. Gas canisters being the main counter to smoke grenades for the defense, despite how much utility the defenders have to see through smokes. It really does usually just come down to, hey, your smoke grenade there, I'll put my gas grenade right on top of it. But nope, not the option that ENCE had available to them because they banned them. So, yeah, a weird round from ENCE, but mostly coming down to the site selection. Speaking of weird.
Oh my goodness. Shate.
Hey, if it works, right?
And there's Gonfi as well. Penta's not even going to be able to get access into the building as they'll be cut down. 2 members in particular, an Ash, pretty potent fragging potential, and then the utility from the Capitao. So this crossbow will just sit and rest on the corpse of Hungry.
Did we call it?
We called it.
I mean, it's been the story for a lot of teams, not just ENCE, of course. Okay, Blaz is in Master Hallway, and Shate is... looks like he was putting down some barbed wire in the main hall, so...
At least he got it down.
Yeah, that's cool. He did get it down, I think.
He got it down in time.
You know, maybe do that before you go for your spawn peaks.
But then you can't spawn peek if you do that.
Well, it depends on where you're trying to spawn peek. I mean, I think he could have done the Evil Eyes. Oh, no. The Evil Eyes and the barbed wire, he wouldn't have had time. You're right. You know, as a Meister, that can be tough.
Yeah. This is a late Valk cam that gets tossed out that will continue to give information. And if enemy doesn't know that it's there, no, he shoots it very quickly. I was going to say this could really enable Wilkie to be able to push on up to the main lobby. But the Valkyrie of Wilkie will fall off towards the kitchen side of things. All the while, Penta have taken control of the armory side of the second floor. You've got one body over by Armory, you've got one over by Master, and Wilkie's rotate has put him in a position where he could toss up that C4 through the attic in pre-placed holes and possibly take somebody down, but he's just waiting for the call. And Penta's biggest issue is that the mute jammer is preventing them from getting the information that they want.
Time to make a new door.
Enemy will have no problem being able to take open this wall into Master, and will prompt ENCE to have to evacuate site.
That was a great Twitch drone there from Ravon to get the mute jammer. And once that mute jammer was taken out, closet is nice and open. Gonfi gets his second there. Ravon goes down, and ENCE look in control of this round.
Wilkie almost assuredly just heard Blast on those stairs, trying to get up to help his teammate. And that'll be Gonfi picking up kill number 3. His enemy doesn't know what to do. He's completely lost, and Blast knows that there's likely somebody in meeting. Oh, he just narrowly misses it, and sees the arm of the Valkyrie of Wilkie. And a game of cat and mouse will ensue. Blast turns his back towards Wilkie and takes quite a bit of damage, expecting a peek around the corner, but bouncy from the hatch above. And in kitchen as he drops. That's ENCE responding. And they'll take 2 out of the 3 rounds so far. It also opens laundry back up for ENCE to go back downstairs.
Yep. So, I mean, going to kitchen before top floor doesn't really matter, because if you're going to lose the kitchen, it's going to be the same 3 split, so you'll be 2-1 anyway. Going back to the basement, though, ENCE are probably going to be very comfortable with this arrangement. So, I mean, the story for ENCE has been pretty much just like, if they're able to get enough early kills to the point at which Penta are hard-pressed to recover, then the Penta won't recover. That is the story so far in this match. And if they can't get those early kills, kitchen defense, then ENCE struggle. Yep.
I mean, you got ENCE literally peeking everything. Shate has been doing this so well. That one spot on Consulate in particular that I think has opened a lot of people's eyes up on the railing and spiral at the very top. I don't remember if you saw it in their match against the ENCE match against Empire.
Was it yesterday?
No, it was a couple days ago. The one way back on console.
10 seconds.
I might.
Or no, sorry, it was against it was ENCE playing console against G2. Shate hopped up on the railing at the top of spiral stairs and looked all the way over towards the gas station.
Yeah, I mean, people do that a lot. That's a pretty common spawn peek, but he was doing it every round. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and I mean, it's something also that we haven't seen in a while. I know that people do it, but in Pro League?
Yeah, okay, fair enough in Pro League, but I mean, that's one of those like really small things that go in circles. Cyclical meta. It's like they'll do it for a bunch, and then people get wise to it, pre-aim it, and you'll die, you'll get punished, and then people stop doing it, and then it comes back when people stop checking for it. It just goes round and round in circles.
Same with the Claymore in Clubhouse, for example.
But I mean, the point I guess you're trying to make is ENCE's aggression.
Yeah, and that's the big thing too, is that you've got Gonfi playing really liberally with his life. Same with Shate, and the one thing with Shate is that you're really trusting him on that Maestro to not get himself killed early, because then your Evil Eyes are set in positions where you best hope that they will continue to be an asset for you in the later part of the round. This time for ENCE, though, they've taken Shate and they've put him on the Valkyrie. Wilkie has gone on to the Maestro, so they've just simply switched roles, and the Maestro will be gone with a minute to go. But a good countermeasure here from Sleben as he's able to pounce upon Sir Boss in the attic. Bloss takes out Bonesy, and all the action happening upstairs. They'll leave Hungry to go back on drone while enemy waits for the call to go through tarps with Bloss at his side. It's the same position that the Thermite was going through last time around.
Looks like it's going to be just a pure and simple construction take. Nice angle play there from Gonfi, an excellent flick onto Bloss. And as he pushes his way up the tower stairs, his position is given away, so he'll likely fall back there.
It was an absolute execution from Gonfi.
Very clean shot indeed, and something he's well known for.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Now PENTA still working their way towards a construction take, but very slowly.
You got both members of PENTA that are over on the blue side of things, leaving just Hungry all on his lonesome, who's still doing drone work. That'll be easy for the wall to be able to be blown up by enemy, providing that they can get the mute chamber on the other side of it, which might be a major hassle. But the exothermic charge will go off successfully, and PENTA will have a largely unrestricted entry in towards the bunker, but they all have fallen off except for Ravon.
I gotta say, Hungry on that Capitao is gonna be one of the most influential players for PENTA if they're able to make this attack strategy work, because he has the most utility, and his utility is incredibly influential on a construction take. Not checking sandbags is gonna be, oh, what? Shate with the C4 from below salvages the Legion, and a second kill as he pushes into box. Hungry now the last alive, and he's taken out Sleben, who was on the rotation there in Meeting Hall, but it was a recovery from Shate to put Hungry in this position. Using all of his utility to cover his drop and the flash, it actually turns out to be a fake as he goes for the box drop down, but will be shut down by Shate, who is the hero there in that round for ENCE.
We were in hot pursuit of the two in Meeting Hall, but Hungry just wasn't able to find anything. And I think a big part of that was that Hungry was just off the pace for a lot of that round. You had the Capitao on drone work, you want to save his utility, don't put him in any danger in any gunfights. Smart way to do that. But you lost map control after you lost two bodies, then when Blast fell, you're basically left with a Thermite, a Thatcher, and a Capitao, none of whom are particularly good fragging operators. Especially when you're paired, going up against, rather, Gonfi on the Jaeger, for example. And that's tough. So you lose map control, you lose Meeting Hall control, you don't have any presence on that second floor, you're basically sitting with Hungry on drone, and then you've got two bodies inside of blue. That's very difficult for the attackers to be able to get anything with that.
Hey, they heard me.
They're going back to kitchen with a castle?
No, but with an echo.
Attackers need to locate and defeat
I don't know if they actually heard you.
if they can.
Well,
I should hope they didn't.
They probably didn't, Parker, but...
Oh, it was figurative, not literal.
Yeah. But they have brought an echo and a Maestro. So they've got the combination denial utility information sort of deal going on there. It's good selection, I think, from ENCE, considering how they've been playing, which is the, ridiculous aggression all the time, everywhere, constantly. That will be aided quite a lot by the ability to now deny the plant from Drunk Tower, using those two operators, and on top of that, they've got the information denial to the attackers in that mute, and the castle, which is, I think, in my opinion, essential if you want to peek everything all the time, because there are certain windows you really do not want to cut off those rotations. For example, the one at the bottom of White Stairs that has been castled off. At least I believe it has.
Some pretty good utility inside a bathroom as well for Wilkie, just over by the shower side of things. They've opened up the wall. They've got the half reinforcement. That is very standard. It allows you to be able to play the window that Wilkie or that Shate is currently looking at. But it also doesn't allow you to rotate out of showers. So you see that those studs were deliberately left intact by Shate, and there's a thought process behind that. And that's because, well, nobody can push you, and they're going to need some kind of destruction to get through that. It's not a free entry point.
Well, I mean, Wilkie is committing himself to holding lockers, and rightfully so. On this site, holding lockers is one of the more essential things. If you can keep control of lockers, then you can keep control of the side of A that is behind the indestructible wall. It's a little bit difficult, but it's doable. And that castle barricade, of course, is going to help Wilkie deny the plant if he is needed for that endeavor. But again, first line of defense, the Echo and the Maestro with their utility.
Depending on how well Gonfi has placed these ADSs, if they can't get burned by the fact that there's an IQ to take them out, then what you end up with is Bloss and Sir Boss struggling to take out the two Evil Eye camps that are positioned inside of that room. Obviously, you need some self-destruction to be able to take care of that.
I think it's really interesting how far back ENCE are playing right now. They're not really going for that aggression that we've seen from them quite a lot, at least not yet. I mean, the opportunity is missed at this point, right? They're trying to play it passively, and this could work out for them. I mean, it didn't work out last time they went to Kitchen, but they've got the utility for it.
Ensuring that you're able to take out that Evil Eye will be one of ENCE's very important tools at their disposal gone, and it looks like they'll be able to grab the second too. So if that's the case, Shate might have lost both of his gadgets, which will free the Maestro up to put in more of a fragging position. That one wall inside of showers has been opened up for the ability to vault in and out. Shate has the ability to see all the way down towards Small Tower through this soft wall that they've cut the holes out of the bottom of. This Capitao play from Hungary is likely going to be exactly the same over towards where the Doc had played previously in other rounds, though there is no Doc on the board this time. Gonfi will be running the Jaeger in this place. Penta rotating on over towards the mess hall door. Shate watching that single window in through showers. And they're basically waiting for Penta to push at this point. Hungary will get taken out, say goodbye to the Capitao. Shate losing a lot of HP in his encounter with Sleben getting kill number 1. And Bloss now still staring over towards shower. As long as somebody from Penta can cut off the rotate in and out of shower, this will be a very good position. C4 in the hand from the mute. Mr. Boss is just waiting. It will flash him out, but it'll get eaten by the ADS, and there goes the second as well. Sleben is in a great position, but there's only 10 seconds left. Enemy eliminates Bonesy. You see, it's going to be an absolute knockout, drag him down fest. Penta rushes right in. C4 does not go off. Sleben picks up kill number 2. Diffuser goes down very well from Penta, and there's a lot of people still alive. 3 from Penta. Sleben inside a Small Tower looking for the flank. He sees the IQ and the UMP will do good work. He's looking for a 4th sub and will get it. It's only up to Blaz to keep this together, and Blaz takes out the mute. He looks for Sleben. He cuts him down. It's a triple for Blaz. He looks for another. Shate will peek on out. It's a 1v1, and this is an extremely winnable position. Just by the green bins. Blaz will peek on up. Waiting for the ult to come in. He sees the Maestro, and Blaz, a huge clutch, and what a play from Blaz. An excellent and extraordinary performance to get every single member of ENCE that threw themselves his way. What a performance, and a round in favor of Penta.
And one that very easily could have gone and should have gone, in my mind, the way of ENCE, but not so. Excellent clutch there from Blaz to get that one in his team's favor. We were looking down the barrel of a 4-1, and because of the heroics from Blaz, we get to see it come a little bit more even. Back to 3-2 here, or on to 3-2 rather, for the first time ever in this match. We're going to be going to the top floor here for ENCE, the last defense of this first half. That was an intense round, mostly coming down to individual performances. Sleben having an excellent one for himself, and then Blaz as well. Not much more to say. The way that ENCE chose to play that, very slow. But also Penta taking their time, being very deliberate with their attempted plant of the diffuser. I like that Penta didn't just try to rush their way in to secure that round. Look at that. Look at how top-heavy Penta is right now. That's incredible.
Blaz has played exceedingly well.
So yeah, I like that Penta didn't just try to rush their way in and get that plant. They expertly picked apart all of the utility, talking about the yokai drones, the evil eyes. After doing that, they tried for a plant when they were distracting and the rest of the defenders, and everybody in proximity who could have denied the plant was just unable.
Let's get another peek coming out from Shate. He's going to see some bodies all the way down in construction. He's going to miss his shots, though. Nobody from Penta losing a single piece of HP, but you know that Sir Boss is alerted to his presence. And you know that it's going to be Shate with the Maestro yet again. But I mean, you don't really need to worry about where he's playing in that instance, because you know that he's going to speed it off.
It's a difficult shot. Oh, this again. That's an old one. That's a really, really old one.
Well, Sir Boss is going to tussle with the tower.
He's doing his best.
He's doing his best.
So this is we're into the round at this point, so it should be playing on. This one's been around for a long time. It happens from time to time. I believe it has to do with the rappel, but we're very likely going to be continuing to play. Penta is calling for a rehost right now. Just so you know, it's 15 seconds into the prep phase that you can call for a rehost if there's a bug. If not, usually you're supposed to play on. But again, it'll be down to admin decision, as it always is.
Yeah. So that's a call that the admins make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so we play on here, and I'm assuming that you'll probably have Sir Boss just do drone work in that case. It's your Ash that's going to be tied on up, but anyway. So we head into the halfway point of round number 6, and the final defense, as you very wisely pointed out, for ENCE. On defense, they're going to be upstairs inside of dorms. They won it the only other time they went here.
With one player out of the way in the way of Sir Boss and all the time that Penta has wasted trying to figure out if they're going to be playing or not, ENCE are really well poised to take this round, gotta be honest. Gomfi inside a meeting hall and Sleben as well to support him, going for some pressure onto tower, and it's going to allow for this 1-2 punch from Sleben and Gomfi. Excellent coordination there, and distracting most of Penta, allowing for a retake of tower. And that's the sort of aggression, again, from ENCE that you just aren't expecting. Wow, what a double for Hungary. He goes for the triple with the pistol, and he will not get it. Wilkie getting away with his life, at least for now. But Hungary is just his namesake, I suppose. He's going for the ace at this point, and Sir Boss is still stuck. It's a 1 versus 3, technically. So, yeah, half HP and a dream.
Wondering if we're going to be able to see anything out of Sir Boss here as just simply a support style role. It looks like he's trying to take himself out with the breaching round. But yeah, it's going to be Hungry, and this is going to be really tough. Shate almost going down to an asphyxiating bolt inside of Kid's dorms. Hungry will have to repel on in. The clock is going to be the largest nemesis of Penta, at least for the time being, as the smoke will cut off a possible attic push. Hungry goes on in, and they pick him off with Bonesy there. And it's all up to Sir Boss, who can't move at all. Unlucky. Wilkie will try to secure the frag, but Sir Boss will take himself out with the breaching round. And that'll be ENCE taking the round.
You can see ENCE is also not very happy about that. It wasn't just Sir Boss being taken down, it was also the confusion that came Penta's way when he got stuck. Of course, I'm not exactly, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by the admin call there. It makes sense. It's in line with the rules. It is unfortunate there for Penta, but yeah, I think I'm more surprised honestly by Penta getting so distracted by it. At the same time, you really can't blame them for losing an Ash of all things. It's a big tool that you got to use to enter anywhere. I mean, it's a lot of faith you put into that one person, Sir Boss specifically, and not able to play the round. It's unfortunate, but it does happen.
Attackers need to locate.
ENCE will take basically a free round off of that, but I gotta be honest as well. They played well to get it. The aggression retaking tower really paid off. Again, what we've been seeing from ENCE throughout this entire match and throughout most of Pro League so far.
I mean, it's obviously a major detriment to lose Sir Boss, and who knows how much that impacted the rhythm of the team on that round in particular.
I think it really upset it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tilter for sure, but Penta's been relying on Blast to carry that every single round. He gets the beautiful 4K in the post plant, on the the round right before that. Obviously didn't get the ace, unfortunate for him.
I wasn't casting
5 seconds left.
I'm just gonna bring that up a little bit.
Attackers have recovered.
Hey, you started.
He was unfortunate he didn't get the ace. He didn't. Enemy got the lead off frag in that round. It's the thermite onto the Echo, and that was it. And then from there, Blast picked up every single one after the plant went down. I don't know why you have to rub it in my face that I don't get to cast aces ever. So.
Hey, you casted one like last time.
The only time I get to cast aces is when Lestream is playing.
Really?
The player on the team is named Aces.
Oh, I mean, well, that's not just the stream though. No, but Parker, that's not just the stream though. There's another Aces.
Fnatic, I know.
Yeah.
So in keeping with ENCE's super aggressive plays, what do we see on the attacking lineup? Comfy's going to be on the Ash, no surprise there. Adokabi for maximum annoyance on Sleben's side of things, and then an LMG Finka. There are a couple teams that run the Finka here, and it's not a shocker to see her. Comfy positioned on flank watch, waiting for Sir Boss to push out. Sir Boss really enjoying the tower, all things considered. It's just not that far off a meeting hall.
Yeah, he seems keen of this location, but he's just waiting right now.
It's familiar to him.
Yeah, he's got the shotgun out, and he's trying to avoid a certain corner of tower, like the plague.
He's dropped off really far. An opportunity there, though, for Comfy to have been able to capitalize on the logic bomb from Adokabi. It will be squandered, and then Blas taking out Shate. With the mute on the board, that's particularly bad for ENCE because you don't have the ability to take out those mute jammers with ease. You're going to have to rely on just entering and shooting them. That's it. Yeah. Or possibly the frag grenades from Wilkie.
Yeah, ENCE have not had the same power that we saw from them on defense here on attack. It seems that they were really liking the ability to set the tempo of the round when they were on the defensive side, but now on attack, they're having trouble really reading Penta's play, as it's somewhere between an aggressive roam and passive defense. So you can see Maestro giving away his position will also, because of that, give away the frag to Sleben. So there you go. It's a little bit of an overstep from Blaz. And now nice and even here for ENCE. Grenades from Finka going to be coming out. Not a great grenade there on the first volley, but it's still recoverable with the second one. And it's a rush here from ENCE. Bonesy going to be able to take out Ravon, and Comfy going for a follow-up, but he'll lose it out to Hungary. But Sleben able to refrag, and a double for Sleben, who has been on fire for this match. Wilkie gets the final one, and what a rush from ENCE.
A good round. It was a ballroom blitz, really, when they just dropped down from the meeting hall into the basement. Really, really overall, incredible use of the logic bomb Finka push.
You know, Parker,
not that it's hard to get those off.
This match is a little bit closer, but it's having a little bit of the flavor of the first one.
Right.
I gotta be honest. I mean, let's look back here. Penta has 2 rounds, and that first round onto Kitchen, absolutely dominant. I think Penta really earned that one. The second time they attacked Kitchen, though, Sleben got a 4K, and the only reason that that ENCE lost that one was because of the 4K in response from Blaz, right? And the only 2 rounds that Penta have managed to win were attacks onto Kitchen. So even beside the excellent play from both players there in that round, and the fact that it could have easily been an ENCE round on the Kitchen defense, it was just that, a Kitchen defense. So Penta, thus far, have only won the expected sites, and ENCE just won one of the unexpected sites on their first attack going onto the basement. So right now, ENCE are very much in the driver's seat. And if they can do the same with the top floor that they did with the bottom floor, then this match is pretty much over.
The main fraggers as well from Penta are kind of sputtering at the moment, and if Bloss isn't fragging, then the whole team is falling apart. That's also something really to focus on, because if you're not winning your gunfights, I mean, you just saw the interview with Joystick. If you don't win your gunfights, certain teams just lose things out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case with Penta here, is that they really haven't been able to put a ton on the board in terms of points outside of Blaz. He's carrying this team.
And I will say that Blaz, individually, is probably one of the best on-the-fly fraggers, the sort of fraggers that can just, hey, if you put a gunfight in front of him, he's going to win it, no matter what. Probably one of the best in this whole match, to be honest. And that's why he's having the performance that he's having, but it's not enough to win matches. Without question, he cannot solo win this match. So, yeah, I mean, we could see something with similar like Rampy's performance here, where you go all the way, you get all those kills, but then you still don't win. I mean, if Blaz really can step up, that would be the most I would expect out of it. So the rest of his team needs to show up to support him.
Harder for him to be able to carry on defense, though, than he is on attack. On attack, you can obviously be fed all that info from drones and all that jazz. But if you look at Penta, they are running a distinct lack of information. They are just going simply with a nice, fast, shutdown style of play with the Legion and the Mute. It's going to be to coordinate to try and counter the aggressiveness of ENCE, as the beachhead that has been established here by Penta is inside of the main kitchen and over towards the dining hall side of things. Immediately engaging a second Finka boost, knowing that you still got Sleben on the board, and that SMG-12 turns into an absolute laser beam. You can hear the distinct heartbeat as the Jaeger pushes out, and off goes his head. Comfy picks up one, and that's the meeting hall in control of ENCE. It took 1 phone call and 2 Finka blasts. Comfy losing a lot of HP, Sleben going down too as enemy pushes his luck inside of the main lobby. He'll head back upstairs and lick his wounds.
Gomfi and Sleben, wow, they've been having such a match today. And they really, I think, are the fraggers that ENCE needed for so very long. And now that they're there, such a powerful force, one to be reckoned with, that's for sure. Blaz, though, equally so. As Gomfi is taken out. He was on low HP, but a gun is a gun. And shutting it down, definitely worth it there for Blaz. An aggressive peek out through that window, but it working out is the main story.
Utility work also from ENCE coming out as you've done enough fragging potential. Enemies able to get away, and he took a bit of damage there. But as for the rest of Penta, they've just sat really pretty. Blast, obviously, inside of Kid Storms, took that chance on Gomfi, caught him in the rotate. Excellent to get that information, given the fact that Penta doesn't really have a lot of information on their side. It's an opportunity here as the grenade of Wilkie gets tossed all the way down to the deployable shield. Enemy extreme Zen-like patience, though, as Blast picks up his second kill of the round. There you go, that patience of enemy will be rewarded with Blast getting kill number 3, and enemy is there again. ENCE obviously just not relaying that information as to the bandits' close proximity as enemy pushes on up. And he makes it look so routine. It'll be Penta's first victory on defense. 5-3 in favor of ENCE for the time being.
So that's a big salvage there from Penta. The fact that they're not going to lose on another one of the stock sites is just about as good as it gets. Means they have somewhere to retreat to. But now, Penta going back to the basement, a site that ENCE were so very successful on the last time they were attacking it. This is going to be dangerous for Penta. What we saw from ENCE last time they were here was just a straight rush into the site. They read that there were plenty of roamers from Penta and said, hey, okay, we'll just go for a plant. Didn't end up needing it, as far as I can recall, but managing to win it off pure frags. Interesting there. We're going to see a 6-pick from a castle to a rook.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
We'll also be trying to counter the explosives that are coming out from ENCE. That would make sense. I mean, Finka has been brought. I think all of these rounds from ENCE so far. And it has been a big part of the doctrine from ENCE is Finka, rush, Finka, rush, Finka, rush. And now we know why they banned smoke.
Yeah. You ban smoke, you run Finka. That's it. There are a lot of teams that will ban smoke and then not use Finka, which seems like a bit of a mistake.
I mean,
but
I mean, sometimes they just don't want to deal with smoke, right?
Right.
And, you know, going into this match, when you see the ban onto smoke from ENCE, you could say the same thing. Oh, maybe they just don't want to play against smoke. I mean, that's fair. Totally fair. But no, clearly ENCE are really confident in winning their gunfights, which is so counter to what they used to be, by the way, like 2 years ago. That's the exact opposite of what they used to be. They used to be like this super slow strategic team. They basically invented strategy in year 1. Anyway, no, I'm not kidding, by the way. ENCE pretty much pioneered siege strategy in the the beginning. Anyway, moving on. ENCE just bringing the Finka and winning the fights. And not even going to need a Finka there. Gomfi will take down Sir Boss.
Took the words right out of my mouth. And expecting a push from the pantry as a secondary follow-up from Penta does not come. And ENCE just able to sit inside a kitchen, waiting so patiently. Gomfi will drone himself in. He's only lost about 30 HP in that encounter, but well worth it as Sir Boss is gone. It also might be main floor control here on behalf of ENCE, which could leave Penta in a really tricky position. We've got Sleben trying to drone up this second floor, but no, there's actually a body over on the back tower. An enemy is going to loom large just on the stairs. It's going to have the opportunity to rotate down back towards laundry or supply, which is where the site is sitting at the moment, Michael.
SD, Parker. ENCE have gone for a very standard attack strategy here. Blast has been down, so if this is secured, I think he was down by the exothermic charge. That's the only explanation I have for why ENCE isn't trying to secure this kill. The grenade will get it, though, so good job there from ENCE. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Blast was trying to juggle his mute jammers and might have been down by the exothermic.
That's a lull right there in chat.
Yeah, Blast. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what happened.
I made an oopsie.
Whoops. Yeah, it's gonna be some soft breaches here for Gomfi on the drop.
You expect this fight to hasten right now as ENCE drops, using a Finka boost on in. Gomfi can't land his targets, but for some reason, enemy just walks right in, pistol out, and he's gonna go in, judging by the beat of the heart that you hear in the background. Ravon is in the back, his phone is ringing away, he's gonna take out Sleben, looking for another. Oh, Ravon will pick up 2, tussling for a 3rd, but the diffuser will go down, and he'll get shut down from Wilkie with that LMG in hand. The tank commander himself will be able to get around for ENCE and push them on to match point. Excellent play and excellent read. And Penta just has no answer for this aggressiveness that ENCE is bringing out in these attacking rounds.
Okay, so Parker, we've been talking about how the meta has been shifting towards the defenders because of the aggression that is enabled due to the quarantine of Lion and the ability to ban another attacker on the defensive side. And there's other factors, of course, but those are the highlights, right? I think ENCE has found their personal response. The ENCE response, the aggression that is prevalent now on defense, is to get even more aggressive on attack. And we've been seeing the same exact attack strategies really time and time again here from ENCE. Again, it all centering around that Finca, which is just Finca boost, rush. Finca boost, rush. Get your efficient roam clears out. If you can take out a roamer or two early on, fine. Great. Fantastic. But from there, hit the site and hit it hard and fast. And you see that the main strategy for ENCE is fearless aggression and pushing into the site. It was what we just saw at the end there from the Ash. Why reload when you can rush in with your pistol? And it worked out great. So I like ENCE's response to this current meta. I like what they're trying to pull out because it proves that there is a way always in Siege to maneuver around what is considered to be immovable in terms of meta. And I like that. I really like that ENCE is trying to pioneer. Again.
Trying to pioneer is a good way of putting it. There's no guarantee that they will.
I mean, it's working out right now against Penta.
Yeah.
And that's the highlight. But hey, yeah, tomorrow this might not work at all.
No. Or on the 31st, on the last play day.
For Europe, yeah. And last play day for this half.
Yeah, that's true. And then, on to Montreal.
Yay, Poland. Wait.
Are you kidding me right now?
We're in Poland, Parker.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Yay.
Canada.
Where is it again? Is there a country north of
Match point, Michael.
USA? Oh, sorry.
Match point, and we see
I actually really like
a clash being brought out. Now,
I went to Vancouver once. It was nice.
We see a clash brought out inside of Meeting Hall.
And ENCE are going for a standard junk tower take. You should see his face. You should see his face right now. It's beautiful.
This is going to be very similar to what we've seen when Kitchen got attacked on the other side of things. Except this time, it's going to be Penta on the defense. The Clash will be a very interesting tool here because if you look at what ENCE is bringing, they don't really have that much to get rid of the Clash at all. They can disable her shield with the EMP, but that's really it. You're going to have to hope that Wilkie can land one of those frag grenades because as for the rest of it, there's no real utility. This could end up being a very strong read from Penta here as they'll get the opening gambit and they'll take out the Finca.
Yeah, I think the story here for Penta is that they managed to read that they're not capable of defending the basement and just go somewhere else and try to upset the rhythm for ENCE, and it's working out well. Taking out the Finca early on is probably the best pick they possibly could have gotten because, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, Finca has been instrumental in everything that ENCE does on attack. So, and that's why they're putting Finca on Wilkie, because Wilkie is that player who's going to be droning a lot. He's going to be a lot more passive than the rest of the players. He's the main support, he's the IGL. He does all the really heavy support work, and he usually is the last one to die, but not so in this round.
It's also not going to be able to enable the best out of Sleben because that SMG-12's recoil is so much harder to manage without the Finca boost at your disposal. It also won't give you the extra HP that has been able to keep ENCE in the fight, especially with how aggressive Gomfi has been playing.
Ooh.
So he and Sleben are going to be wandering right on in, and there's Hungry. Inside of the bathrooms, he'll take Gomfi down. Sleben does refrag, immediately traded off as Ravon picks up kill number 2. Shate is there, and Bonsi is in. But oh, Shate doing great work. He's going to leave just Hungry an enemy. Hungry takes out Shate, though, and Bonsi will be in a tough 1v2 situation with the Clash still working against him. A Nitro Cell gets tossed out from the mute, but you see Bonsi looking the wrong way. His phone is going to continue to ring, and Thermite actually almost looks the wrong way. But this is excellent work, and the Clash is what ends up making it happen, as he boxes Bonsi in and knows that if he turns his back to try to engage Hungry, you got another opponent not too far off you. And that's an easy hold for Penta after it looked a little scary through that mid-round, and Shate doing his best to keep it close. But ENCE is not going to put it away, at least not yet.
Any 1 versus 2 in a crossfire like that is difficult, but a 1 versus 2 where Clash is on the other side, it's borderline unwinnable, as you have just an opponent you cannot directly challenge and somebody who is going to be playing off of that advantage. Well done to Penta, holding on to that round, and going back to basement, here's where it gets really scary for Penta. actually curious that they're... Couldn't they go top floor again?
I guess they could, actually.
That's weird.
They could go back up to dorms, but they will forego it.
That's
as per the site lock, it could have been an easy return to the top floor.
So the top floor was the first round where we saw Penta see some amount of success. They looked actually pretty strong there. And they're going to go basement, where they've failed to hold twice. So maybe, again, an attempt to upset the rhythm of ENCE. But definitely a huge risk, especially on match point. We'll see if it works out for them. Of course, if it doesn't, this is going to be hailed as a pretty poor call from Penta. If it doesn't pay out.
10 seconds left.
We always have a very unique position, right? Because we get to condemn teams that do smart things, but they don't work out. But then we also are in the same position where we can praise them when they do silly things that do work out. It's very tough. It's sometimes...
Well, I think it's important to remember that your definition of smart and silly has to be adjusted based on what is successful and what is unsuccessful. So.
Yeah. At least ENCE will walk away with 1 point, which is good to keep them away from falling towards the bottom of those standings. It's also a loss for Penta, who's trying to make up for lost time and trying to continue to climb on up. There was some ability for upward mobility due to Lestream losing, and that'll be Chaos's opportunity in match number 4 of the day. But until we get there, we have this matchup, and then Secret and Mocket up next. So it's very much not a done deal here. Wilkie needs to make sure that he doesn't find himself in a precarious position early on in the round, and that you end up losing all that utility that is brought from the Finca. An enemy established up top could be tough, but look at Gomfi's drone. He's got the alibi on surveillance. The only problem is that he needs somebody to watch the drone himself. Watch the drone so he doesn't do it himself.
A missed flash there, but it's not really going to matter. In the end, enemy wasn't being hit by them. And you could see that ENCE is very focused on taking out this player inside a tower. The grenade's going to come out in an attempt to land, and it will sail just past. Not cooked enough to take out enemy. Poor play there from Wilkie, but he is going to down enemy. So the follow-up, good enough. And that's a nice recovery.
On repel, close range with an ACOG, that's a tough fight to win. Wilkie makes it happen, so... The only good thing for Penta on that one was that you only lose enemy's alibi. That's really it. But you gained an advantage in time. 90 seconds. That took ENCE to clear that, and they used all of Ash's flashbangs. They used one of Ash's breaching rounds. They used a frag grenade as well from Wilkie, and he's actually used both of his frag grenades. So
just a little bit down. There you go.
That's great, actually, for Penta, because they've left ENCE in a must-frag position.
Yeah, and I mean, but that's what ENCE has been doing for the entire match so far.
Yes.
So you've left ENCE and you've put them up against a wall in terms of they need to do what they've been doing, but better, I suppose, and quicker. Laz doing what he's been doing this whole match and getting the first frag for his team. He'll take out Wilkie. That's the Finca again, the first death for ENCE. Wilkie really needs to work on his positioning there.
And that's unfortunate as well, because the 2 Adrenal Surges will be off the board, and that will hurt the rest of the team as Gomfi gets torn apart through this wooden wall that Sir Boss is watching inside of Armory. That's great control from above. I don't think anybody's anticipating how aggressive this Mute of Blast is going to be on the top of the stairs. Hard destruction from Bouncy will actually have to come in very quickly as Sleben just holds that wall. It does look like the wall might be reinforced, so you can't shoot through it, but the rest of ENCE will just walk on up. Shate at the bottom of the stairs, waiting to see if there's going to be anybody. Phone calls going out. Shate not tempted by the Alibi Club, but trying to draw one out. Revon takes one down. Sleben is in. Oh, a double kill from Sleben, but Hungary and Sir Boss close it, and Penta will keep that gap shrinking. We'll go to the very final round between these two teams. Wow.
Yep. Nice defense there from Penta, and I like how they're strategizing this. They're just reading into how ENCE is playing and saying, hey, if you're going to be aggressive, we're going to be even more aggressive. That's how we'll play this. That's how we'll defend. It's a contest of who can take more fights in odd positions.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think for both teams, you can say that it's working out quite well for the time being.
It really does seem whoever can find themselves in the odder spot is able to get the win. And that's been the story of this match so far. I think it was not so much the story of the last one, but it you know, kind of how we're seeing the meta shift.
It just does favor aggression so much.
6 pick off of the Ella onto the Echo. I think that's a wise
Attackers need
pick.
to locate and defuse
Keeping the
bombs.
Ella in mind of your opponents is one of those things that actually is pretty powerful because Ella is exceptional in certain situations, but she's a very specific operator. So like, for example, you could put her on the top of white stairs if you're worried about someone coming up your white stairs because she is going to be one of the best operators to hold that. She's great at holding proximity anything, really. Rather close proximity. So that's it's like a frost pick, you know? You have to keep looking down, or you have to be, in Ella's case, you have to be worried about taking close corner fights.
Even with the logic bombs being used as such a big part of ENCE's repertoire, you still have Penta playing these really close angles deliberately to try to draw out ENCE so that they hear the phone call, they know someone's right around the corner, but Penta is prepared to greet them. And they greet them quite successfully. It's exactly what happened on dorms, it's what happened downstairs on laundry supply room. And we'll see what happens again, as dorms will be the scene for the 12th and final round between these two teams. Two very storied rosters, two very storied organizations squaring off against one another.
Slevin all the way into lockers already. It's been pretty quick here from both teams.
Yeah, this is good map control already as ENCE once again barnstorming into this kitchen site, or kitchen side of things. That's a lost yokai drone. A bit of a waste there from Hungry as he tries to do some scouting missions with it. Slevin finds it. And you can hear the faint sound of a phone ringing just inside a kitchen, which is alerting Gomfi to somebody being in there.
Is that 2 logic bombs in a row from Slevin?
That is a lot of utility used, and Gomfi is 1 HP as Slevin takes out Blast, enemy eliminates Shate, and Ravon takes down Gomfi. Gomfi didn't have very much HP left, and now Slevin also exceedingly low. He could possibly go for a reset depending on how things are going to go. There's still some Adrenal Surges available as well, but man, oh man, that's quite the utility dump. Hungry cuts through Wilkie. Slevin doesn't have much HP left, and he's going to be left on just a shred of it once this Finka boost disappears, leaving Bonesy to have to basically clean up all on his lonesome. Now keep in mind, Hungry did lose 1 yokai drone in that early encounter, and a reset from enemy will actually be a major benefit to Penta. Slevin will get reset too, as there's plenty of time for both teams to try and get themselves back to better fighting strength.
Yep, we've got a nice even contest here though. I think in terms of advantages, I think they're all going the way of Penta right this second. We're looking down the barrel of a draw, that's for sure. ENCE are setting up for a much more standard attack strategy compared to what they were just doing. They're going to be going for a closet take, but they do have the hurdle of the bandit batteries, not to mention the mute jammers, which means this is going to be a hard recovery if it will be one. I mean, it would be miraculous if ENCE managed to win this one.
Enemy inside a generator, just waiting for a push through these single doors, and this is why Kid Storms is so difficult to attack. The SMG-12 trying to do some damage to enemy, but enemy will win that one out and leave it Bonesy holding on to the diffuser with 3 enemies. He'll take the head off of Ravon, expecting another push, but he cannot win the fight against Hungry. Doesn't need the ACOG for that long range there, as Hungry will clean up and send us into a draw. Both teams being pretty evenly matched, and if they can't split each other after 12 rounds, give them both a point, send them both home, send them to the showers, and that's exactly what will happen.
In terms of halves, it was exactly even in the round count. Neither team really coming out on top on either side.